G'day, George, Jyri. So this is just a bit of a lead in now to me answering those 7 questions that I got from my brother from void mother, Aragorn, which I mentioned in my last video. So I'm just going to be setting the scene for that, and it's a Sunday morning. I'm pretty much sitting in an empty apartment right now. I'm due to move out within the next couple of weeks, and then this will be, I think, something like 7 years that I've lived here, and so it's definitely the end of an interesting period in my life, that's for sure. But it's time to move on now to new adventures. As I said in my last video, the first one's going to be the Camino Francais, so going from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port on the French side, and then crossing the mountains of Pyrenees and heading towards Santiago across northern Spain. So that's the first adventure, and of course the one following after that, I will return to Finland for a brief period, and then after that it's off to Southeast Asia, to Cambodia, to Siem Reap actually, to be more exact. So lots of massive changes coming in lifestyle, in climate, so many things, and I've got so many interesting plans ahead. But for now, as I've said, the first projects are the 7 questions, which I'm going to start addressing in this video, the first one, and then the Camino, and then Cambodia, and then, well, we'll just see what happens along the way. Always open to things getting sidetracked, which is always makes things magical. Okay, let me see. Actually, I think I'll go and put the kettle on first, and I'll get back to you. Got to have my morning coffee. Oh. Alrighty, so back. Coffee's going, so I'm looking forward to having my morning java very shortly. Okay, so project number 1, 7 questions from Aragorn related to this latest change in my life, not necessarily just specifically about Cambodia, but just generally speaking, you know, relating to these last 7 or 8 years that I've been here in Turku, Finland, or based here at least, and why the need for this change, and everything related to that. And again, as I emphasized, I have not read these questions, and I only get 1 question at a time, so I have it here ready to ask. And what I'll be doing in terms of the answering part, I'm going to just let it digest a little bit, have my morning coffee, and then I'm going to head out. It's a beautiful day outside, sun is shining, just like in that last video, update video. And I'll be walking around some local trails, and that's where I'll actually answer the question on the move, so you don't have to just be looking at me sitting on a couch with a blank wall behind. It's a little bit boring. So yeah, it'll be a lot more fun to do it outside, and you'll get to see a little bit more of the Finnish nature. All right, yeah, my water's boiling. I will be back in a second. I'm going to read out the very first question. All right, one more break. Okay, back with the Java, and actually, if you can't read from there, which you probably can't, it says I love coffee, which is definitely a no shit Sherlock for me. I'm absolutely addicted to this crap. All right, so without further ado, we aren't here to milk mosquitoes. I have here the very first question from my brother from void mother, Aragorn. And here we go. You've travelled, lived and worked in many locations around the world, including in Australia, the USA, Japan and Europe. And now, for the last 8 or so years, you've resided here in Finland. Soon you'll be on the move again, leaving Europe behind to head to Cambodia. And now for the crux of the question. With all that said, what might be the differences in how you're approaching or feeling about this latest major shift in your life? Okay. All right, so no commentary right now. I'm not going to start answering that question. I'm going to finish my coffee and then head out for a trail walk. It's awesome out there, sun shining, nice and cool, and definitely be a lot more interesting, I think, for you guys following this to see some Finnish nature rather than look at my ugly mug sitting on a mattress in an empty apartment leaning up against a white blank wall, which is pretty boring. So hopefully enjoy the scenes outside, and I'm going to finish my coffee and then head out. And that'll just give me a little bit of time to absorb that question, I suppose. And once I hit the trails, I'm just going to start ranting and answering as best as I can, with no scripting, nothing thought out like specifically in advance, just whatever is just happening in the background as I just get myself ready to head outside. So with that said, I'll see you soon. All right, ciao. Alrighty then, so here I am out on the local trails once again, ready to answer question number 1. So just to recap the main part of the question, which is what are the differences, if any, do I have right now with my approach or how I'm feeling about this latest major shift or change in my life. So obviously with the initial part of the question, it highlighted that I've lived in many countries and worked in many countries, so Australia, USA, Japan, Portugal, United Kingdom, amongst others. Even Thailand actually, which hits closer to home with going to Cambodia, so that's part of the answer for that. But anyway, so thinking about it now, just like after having my coffee and now getting out on the trails, I mean, I could go into lots of convoluted responses for any given place, like why Australia, why here, why there. But I think actually the major focus of everything is that now I'm actually free, like 100% free to pretty much go where and do whatever I want without any particular schedule or time frame. And it's something that I truly want to do, like I do it for free. And I think that that's the main thing, that most of the travel that I've done before, there's always been some kind of specific goal, whether it was a job or a competition maybe, or achieving some kind of more worldly goal, let's just put it that way in a more summary form. But now I'm actually getting to go because I want to. It's like what I truly desire, for many reasons. So speaking about Cambodia right now, why there and why not anywhere else? Well, number one, I'll already say that I'm looking forward to some decent heat, which I've been missing for a very long time, growing up in Australia, so it's not exactly like you get a lot of that here in Finland. So obviously, nice changing climate's never a bad thing, but that's really just a sort of like a nice extra. The main thing is more about culture and lifestyle and simplicity and minimalism. Like, I want to go and live where people, generally speaking, are happy with little, and they're friendly, they're courteous, they're respectful. There's much more of a focus on community and helping people out just because, and not expecting anything in return. So I want to sort of simplify my life a lot, to get away from having stuff. Like with the first part of my video, you could obviously see I was sitting on a mattress on the floor because my apartment was basically empty, and all you there saw that was around me was my bicycle, Matilda the second, who's already packed up and ready to roll whenever I am. So I'm almost out of there, and I have to say that the process of getting rid of furniture and just all kinds of goods and clothes, giving them away, has been so kind of liberating in a way. Like, I'm uncluttering my life, I'm feeling lighter, and I'm truly getting to that point where I have that freedom just to literally fly. and to go where my heart desires. And right now my heart desires to go to Southeast Asia and explore that region and try to live as simple and good a life as I can, not for just myself, but for the community that I end up living in, that I try my best to be a part of the community and help them out as much as I can, and to travel around and learn more about what makes people happy. And it's certainly, after all my years, I mean, I've owned houses, cars, all of the usual crap, and none of it was the source of my happiness. It gave me comfort, but it's very important to understand that comfort and happiness are definitely not the same thing at all. They've done a little bit of work here, so I have to scoot around that way. So this might be a bit of an ugly spot, but anyway, continue. So happiness for me is like the contentment and peace and just the simple joy of like lying in a hammock between two trees with a rice field behind at sunset, or looking over a stretch of water from a beach. Not even having any music or anything, just literally just enjoying the moment and just being with my surroundings, whether that's alone or whether that's with other people. It really doesn't matter at all. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to as far as that's concerned. On a deeper level, however, I have to say that it also connects with Buddhism, Hinduism, religion, yoga, moral values, life values, all of those sorts of things, which I'm very, very keen to explore. A bit of a steep downhill, so I don't want to fall, so just give me a sec. I've got a bad knee at the moment from jiu-jitsu, so I've got to take care of that. Okay, so I mean, I don't know if the answer really needs to be any more complicated than that, but I think kind of like an analogy that I'll use, and this definitely applies to the Camino Frances, which is coming up, that on all my previous bicycle tours and hiking tours, Caminos, whatever, I've almost approached them with how many kilometers can I do today? Like, where can I get to today? Almost like each day was some kind of competition, and I found that I was actually moving way faster than I should. And what I mean by that is, it's not that I couldn't do it physically, but it's like I didn't take the time and the opportunity to just absorb everything that was around me, the beauty of places. So that's got to stop. That's just done. And I want to move at the speed of my soul, to coin a kind of like a phrase or a term. And what I mean by that is, every day when I wake up on the Camino to start with, which I'll be doing in June, that will be just how I feel from moment to moment, one step at a time. And if I want to take longer at a cafe, or if there's a beautiful landscape scenery, I'll just stick around and just enjoy it for as long as I want, whether that's 5 minutes or whether it's 50 minutes or if it's a full day, it doesn't matter. And I won't have any kind of like set goal about how many kilometers or I should do in a day, or what town I should get to in a day, or how quickly I should do the whole Camino. It's going to take exactly as long as it needs to take, because I'm going to be moving exactly how I feel. And that's very Forrest Gumpy, in the sense that you've got the when you want to run, you run. When you want to walk, you walk. When you want to crawl, you crawl. When you want to eat, you eat because you're hungry. When you're thirsty, you drink. And when you need to go to the bathroom, well, that's when you go to the bathroom. Like, you just decide on shit just as it's happening. Like, there's no reason at all to go do anything different. And that makes life very, very simple then, because you can just move completely and 100% as you feel, and then you let the miles and the kilometers and the Camino take care of itself. And the Camino Frances is split up into 3 parts. They say the first part's very physical, or more physical. The second part, which I think is called the La Meseta, which is the tableland, and that's long stretches of nothingness with very little shade, and that's called the mental part or psychological part. And then the final part, going into Santiago, is the spiritual part. Well, that's the way the tourist brochures sell it anyway. But doesn't matter. For me, it's my journey, and we'll see what happens. But this is the first opportunity that I have. Now, going back to the original question, what's the difference? The key difference is the last time I had the opportunity with no baggage, no nothing to consider in a sense, was when I was like about 23 and I left Australia, having worked as a physiotherapist for a while, and then just traveling the world, working as a physiotherapist before then eventually continuing my studies, getting married and having a child and all of those sorts of things. And any travel that was related to that was family oriented. But now I'm finally back to the same situation that I had when I was 23, turning 24, when I simply left Australia to travel the world. And that's what I now get to do again, which is just absolutely fantastic. And no encumbrances, no nothing. And my daughter, yes, I have a daughter and she's 18 years old, but she's such an amazing young lady that I couldn't be more proud of her. And I know she'll be fine, and she knows why I'm doing this. And that's very, very important, obviously. And she has her own young life to lead, but she always knows that I'm around. But the thing that I want to do is to be as much of an example that you can go out there and you don't have to do the regular 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call it, what people expect you to do to be a so-called good citizen, or, you know, a proper person, whatever label you want to put on it. Just have the courage to get out there and just follow your dreams and do what you know, I'm not going to say be passionate about, because that's something you get in just like a cliche answer, but something that really drives you, like burns totally within your chest, that you can't think of doing anything else but that when you wake up in the morning. And it's the last thing you think about when you go to sleep at night. And that's the feeling that I've been cultivating over the past sort of like 6 months that has led to this final decision to do that. And now it's going to happen very, very soon. I mean, it's mid-April now, so about another 4 weeks or so, 5 weeks I guess, to run on my work contract. And then after that, a couple of weeks of work doing other things, security work, that kind of stuff, and then I'm off to the Camino Frances is the first thing. So yeah, I don't know if anyone is expecting anything more of a deeper answer than that. Maybe I myself was probably thinking that I'd have something really clever to say, but all I will just finish off this video is by saying that I now finally, after a 35-year break, get to finally now move at the speed of my soul, whether that's the Camino Frances, whether that's Cambodia after, and whatever's to follow afterwards, or whether it happens in between as a side track or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to try to live my life as best as I can from moment to moment, because that's all we have. And hopefully by doing that, it's going to compel and encourage others who are in a sort of crossroads situation in their life about how they want to spend the rest of it. Like, I'm just about to turn 59, so it's like high time that I stop messing about with stuff like that, because I can wait till I retire, and what am I going to do then? Maybe I don't have the health anymore. So thing is, while you still can, unburden yourself, declutter yourself, but do it with care, because if it involves other people, you can't just drop them into an abyss. It has to be something that you can all work on together and value together, because then that's the idea of community. And that was that saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. And that is how I've always approached things. I've gone fast with the Camino's bike tours, but I've always gone alone. I've never ever done any of those things with anybody. And but if you want to go far, you go together. And I'm going to the Camino Frances by myself, but who knows about the people I'll meet and who I'll talk to, and whether I spend maybe a couple of days walking with them, or the whole time walking with them, or nobody at all. But that'll be something that then comes up in that situation, if it actually pans out that way. Okay, so I think I'll finish off here. I'm still walking around my local trails, just about to head off and have another coffee this morning, but people out here walking their dogs, probably wondering why I'm talking to myself or to a camera, but there you go. All right, final uphill, and then I might actually go off and see my dear sweet old mammy who lives nearby, who actually also is coming to Cambodia, so there's something else to talk about later on. All right, check it out. Bye.